Okay, guys, let's talk Never-Ending Story and bootleg toys. Let me just start off in saying that I find the fact that Never-Ending Story has virtually, or I want to say literally, no merchandise is one of the weirdest things as far as merchandising goes. It's a 80s movie, and the 80s are really popular with nostalgia. Most people around my age have a huge nostalgia for 80s fantasy movies, no less. And the Never-Ending Story is strange because there was no merch for it back in the day, other than, we'll get to it, unofficial toys, bootlegs. And that's fine, but with the resurgence of so many companies like NECA, Funko, Super 7, etc., making retro toys licenses, basically picking up like all this stuff that really wasn't made back in the day. Why has nobody picked up the Never-Ending Story? It's just so strange. Like, does anyone have an answer to this? I wonder if there's like some type of licensing issue or what. It's a really big omission. But with that said, let's talk about bootleg toys. There's multiple types of kind of a bootleg toy to stuff where you can go probably now to some maybe some store or flea market where they'll have like these big battle packs of like wrestlers or superheroes or Power Rangers that are, $5. Usually those they're technically bootlegs, but they're not stuff that people really care about. A lot of vintage stuff is going up. A lot of special bootleg toys, like weird unofficial versions of Star Wars figures, like the Blue Stars, are going for a lot of money. I have a bootleg from the show Dinosaurs that seems pretty popular. There's I have Street Fighter bootlegs. They're all like for the most part versions or bootleg versions of toys that actually exist. This is a bootleg Rockbiter figure from the Never-Ending Story, and he's kind of unique because this doesn't exist in any other way. This is the only way to get anything close to this is this. So technically, it's a bootleg, I guess, because it's not licensed, but it's not a bootleg of anything. It's an original piece. And what makes it really cool, other than the fact that it is an original piece, is the fact that it honestly looks like a licensed toy. In fact, if they licensed, this is vintage. This is from the 80s. If they licensed Never-Ending Story stuff in the 80s, I can almost guarantee you it wouldn't even look like this. It would look like much worse. This looks pretty freaking cool, in my opinion. Now, he's expensive, obviously, because it's rare at this point. And I was able to get mine on the old eBay. From what I understand, and this is another thing about bootleg toys, especially weird ones like this, that is kind of cool. There's a mystery about them. Like, who made them? Where did they make them? Like, how do these things get financed? There's Gizmo. He likes to ruin our videos. Like, from what I understand, this was sold outside the movie theater in Mexico, and probably, God, who knows, maybe a couple bucks. He's gonna keep doing that, isn't he? So anyway, that's what I heard. Who knows if that's the real story? And I'm sorry, I just had to pause there to see if he would stop. I think there's somebody working on the house next door. But Laura Legends originally did a video on this guy, and I figured I'd get a better look at him. She reviewed him pretty good, but I don't think her video. She went through a lot of stuff, and I figured I just want to focus on him. So there he is, a bootleg Rockbiter from the Never-Ending Story, and the cameo by Gizmo.